setup should be done. Ugh, I am moving so slow. So I gotta do one more post. Okay. We should theoretically be good. If the math and the theories and all of that is correct, we should be good. Everything should be looking great. Sorry for the delay, folks. I am having just one of those days where I cannot get the energy to keep my eyes open, let alone use my brain for cognitive thinking. So, bear with me. Like, it was one of those things where I actively debated. Man, I almost cannot even say that word. I almost debated on even streaming today because I'm just like, is it, should I do it when I'm this tired? Like, is it going to be entertaining for people? I don't know. Either way, I was going to do this drawing anyway, so it's either stream it or don't stream it, and I figured, I might as well. I typically talk to myself anyways when I do art, so what's the harm in it? I also did a Instagram reel post for this as well because I don't usually do those, so hopefully that turned out well. I don't usually do. I don't know, but yeah, we're gonna do some drawing. Now the thing is, if you're new, hi, I'm James. I stream every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Fridays, I started doing art streams, and that's very exciting for me. I like art, and it's just been a good way to kind of stretch my artistic legs. I've been doing these Mechtober drawing prompts. The list created by Megazor or at Megazor Art on Twitter and Instagram. They've been a lot of fun. They've been a fun way for me just to test my skills and also try stuff that I don't normally create. Or like try different like art forms that I don't normally do. And that's just been an interesting like part of my journey. And also today I'm going to be using a new drawing program. It's called Realistic Paint Studio or something like that. I mentioned it last week, and I was like, okay, let's give this a try because it seemed pretty good. I am particularly interested in doing like watercolors in real life. Haven't dabbled much in it, but with what I have, I kind of like it. So let's do a watercolor today. Let's do a nice standard. So the thing with this, let's see. Yeah, the thing with this, so the thing with this program that's kind of cool is that it's supposed to try and simulate like actual materials, which is cool. Because I'm more of a traditional artist, I have a difficult time wrapping my head around like the digital aspects of it. So I thought this might be a fun thing to try. I tried the free trial last week in my free time. I really liked it. I bought it. Had some issues with the buying process. There's just a weird hiccup, but that was all settled, and now I have the full version. It was only like $33 Canadian, like full with tax and all that included. So that's not too bad. I thought, you know what, let's give this a try. Now I don't know what I'm going to do, in all honesty. So I've been trying to ponder what I want to do for this. So Coven is a pretty common thing. It's very witchy related. So let me do some Coven art stuff on the old Google just to get some inspiration. My phone's ringing. One second. That was my dad. I'm just gonna message his girlfriend just to let my dad know that I'm streaming at the moment. Alright, so what am I feeling? So Coven is typically like a group of which... Oh, I need to add in the no AI prompt. Fuck AI. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that eliminates some of the AI stuff. So, from what I'm finding, just from typing Coven art, for some reason art is apparent, I can't think of the word of adding an S at the end of a letter. Good lord. My brain. But from what I can see, a lot of the art is very dark and gothic, which makes sense. So wondering if we could try and do something a little more bright, colorful. That's interesting. Yeah, so anyone who is joining in, also feel free to join in on the art festivities. I always encourage people to join in. You don't need to be skilled or anything. even just a bunch of like stick figures, you know. Okay. And now Google has lost the plot, and it's just giving me pictures of just whatever it thinks is related, like, you know, two war veterans, it looks like, or two people in the war. Couple pictures of people, so it kind of forgot what it was doing, which seems on par for Google, to be honest. God forbid Google be actually useful anymore. Yeah, everything's very gothic from what I can tell. A lot of voluptuous ladies. There's a type in Coven. What does that do for me? Yeah, so just a heads up. I have something called aphantasia, which means that I can't visualize stuff in my brain, like in my mind's eye. I can't see anything, and if I close my eyes, I just see black static. It was funny yesterday. Tori, she's my wife. We were watching the new season of Heartstopper, and there's a scene where like the characters all like fantasizing about their love interests, and they're looking over at the one character's looking over, seeing his love interest, approach him by the pool, and I'm like, in my mind or in my brain, I'm like, oh, that's clearly fictional. People don't actually see that, right? So I turned to my wife and I'm like, is that what people actually see when they like fantasize and visualize stuff, or is that what people can see? And she's like, yeah, I'm able to do that, and I'm like, fucking what? If I focus really hard and like close my eyes and just focus all of the little white specks in my mind's eye, all like the white static, I can maybe morph like a shape that is vaguely in the shape that I might want it to be. Okay. Well, I kind of have an idea in my mind. And usually when I say that, it's not what you're visualizing. When I say my mind, it's more of words that I'm using to mentally describe the thing that I want to make. So my idea is maybe like three kind of watery witches using a fun color. I'm thinking maybe like a green, because a lot of colors I'm seeing is very blue, very black, or reds. So I'm thinking maybe limiting myself to maybe like one or two colors. I'm thinking either like a green or even a purple might be fun. Doing some experimentation with that. And just having like maybe like three ladies kind of like standing next to each other kind of thing, or around each other. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Rubber Ducky. Hope you're having a good day today. I am not finding any good reference pictures anywhere. Well, maybe this one I can kind of use like just the general posture. Yeah, maybe this one. Not actually sure how to show the reference using this. Usually I just copy and paste it into the thing, but I don't think I know how to do that. Oh, your replacement pen probably came. That's awesome. 2 hours so I can barely function. Honestly, I'm in that same boat. I am not coherent today. Like, I even debated on if I wanted to stream today because I'm so tired. I've had 3 cups of coffee, and I think the ADHD thing is kicking in where coffee doesn't wake you up, because that's happening right now. I am not awake in the slightest, and I'm so tired. Like it feels like my body's just weighed down, and I just feel so heavy. Okay, can I use a pen or a pencil to do a quick little sketch-a-doodle? Okay, so that brings up a little menu. Yeah, so I'm trying this new art program, trying to give it a little try. Can I use like a pen or a pencil or do a little sketch? We got some salt. Interesting. Don't know what that is. Oh, little water droplets kind of wet the paper a little bit. Normally, I like to use either like a like I have a little like water brush that I like to use. So we can have like clear water if we wanted, or like slightly colored water. I'm just gonna do some dabbling just to try and get. Okay, that's like a little red. Oh, I can do this if I. Okay. Yeah, bear with me. This is like the second time I've used this program, so I'm kind of figuring out myself. So that's a more like steam drop. I see. So if I do a little tap, interesting. All right, so these definitely have like different like weights to them. It feels like. Oh yeah, that's like way bigger. I probably should have picked a different color other than yellow because it looks like I'm peeing on everything. Coffee only works on you when you're well rested. Otherwise, it makes you way too tired. Yeah, I feel the same way with coffee. Like if I have a coffee in the morning and I had a good rest, I feel good. And I don't think it's the coffee for me. I think it's just because I'm in a good mindset. But when I have the coffee on days where I'm tired, it just makes me like I don't think to me. I don't think coffee does anything for me unless I drink too much, and then I feel like I'm gonna vibrate through the earth. Most of the time, it just makes me feel druggy. But I like having like a routine in the morning, and coffee has been that routine for me. Yeah, I'm trying to just like program out. It's supposed to like simulate like actual like working with like actual materials and stuff like that. So I'm giving it a try. So we're using like a paper towel to kind of smudge some stuff right now. That's cool. That's really fun. Yeah, I bought this last week. I was gonna stream trying this last week and didn't do it for it. I can't remember what reason now. But I was like, okay, I'll give it a try on my spare time. Like I really liked it. So I bought it. Had some issues with like the purchasing process, where like the oh, can I use this to like blend colors somehow? What if I use like a brush? Can I use the brush and not use paint? So like just use like water. Is that like an option? Not really. Unless oh, I see. So I can just do a little dabby dab in those. Can I mix colors in this? Because that's the thing I hated with like a lot of digital stuff is that I can't figure out. Like a lot of times it doesn't blend. So I just take some yellow, mix it with a little bit of green, mix it with a little. Let's try a little bit of like, yellow and a little bit of blue. Okay, it doesn't really seem to blend. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's a little awkward. I would have liked it to have like blended. What are the salt shakers? the other day when I was working on an art project, I ended up purposely knocking over some salt onto like a black sheet of paper, and it looks so pretty. Like, it was one of those things where it just looks like little tiny diamonds on top of the paper. Okay, so we got a little bit of something down. Again, I would have liked to use like a pencil or something, but I guess if you choose watercolor, you don't get access to pencils. You're just kind of sorry about your luck. Okay, then we can still work with this. I want a flat brush. It's like, what's kind of cool is that like it does seem to like match. So like having it like rotate like that is pretty cool. Like I think you can do that with some of the options in like other programs, but just knowing that like how I have my pen affects it does feel kind of cool. Yeah, I get that like you basically have infinite colors with like digital, and like that's kind of the appeal. But like, you know, I'm trying to like simulate like actual painting, and it feels weird that like when I put two colors together, they just overlap each other, and there's like a disconnect for me with that. It's like, hey, you know that lesson you learned in primary school on how to like mix colors, and then the lessons on like, you know, a little bit of the color theory and that sort of stuff going forward. Yeah, you don't really need to know the whole color blending part with digital, and I don't know, it feels weird to me, if I'm being honest. So I've been trying to find a program that can at least simulate that a little bit, but that's okay. Like I know there's ways to do it on like Clip Studio, but it's such a tedious process that it's like I might as well just not. Alright, so let's give this brush a try. I think it's like a purple. So like, how does it look? Okay, so it kind of spreads out a little bit. Okay, and not loving that. What does that do? How was the tip? That kind of what I'm going for? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going for. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Like it is very much like, you know, you like, you know, like I guess if you want, you know, there is always traditional if that's what you're trying to go, but you know, you don't have to do digital. Just it's just such a disconnect for me. But like, I've also seen people who use digital art and they're able to make some very breathtaking, you know, stuff, right? So it's just like, I don't know. It's trying to like bridge that gap for me to better understand digital, I guess. Okay. Actually, is there a way I can just... I use the brush, and I do like this. Can I like... Okay. That's a little unfortunate. I thought it could be cool if I could like colorize the brush by dipping it, but or the sponge, but no. Yeah, exactly. Bear with me while I kind of like fumble with the tools that are given to me. Okay, so this can kind of be used as like a sketch pen. Well, not intentional, but that I kind of like how that looks as like hair or strands. That's kind of fun. Okay, okay, we're figuring stuff out. We're learning. How about this chunky boy? Okay, not what I expected. Is there a way to like adjust the brush size as well? Like I'm assuming so. Oh yeah, the singing. There we go. Okay. If I were to like just create like a blob of purple, and then let's say use the sponge here. Can I like try and shape this into something? Kinda, but not to the degree that I would like. Oh, I can kind of do it a bit more with the paper towel. Interesting. I am kind of liking this. Okay. That I kind of like. It has like a flowiness to it. I can kind of like manipulate it a little bit. Okay. Probably not gonna work with other stuff, but can I like use it? Okay, that just erases it. Okay. I thought I was gonna be able to use that to like manipulate it a little bit, like an actual eraser, but that it just removes it. Makes sense. It's not as permanent as actual stuff. A digital watercolor and even some plastic work art, and I dig how they make it look smudgy and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like whenever I see that stuff, like it always like floors me. So interesting. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options we can play with. Like I kind of like that one where I was like shaping the water essentially. That was kind of fun. Let's experiment with that again, but this time like just a little splotch. If I were to then grab like this, how much can I like manipulate this and pull it? Pretty far actually. That's kind of cool, and like it does kind of become less like what's the word? Man, my brain is not coming up with words, man. It's not as dark. It becomes a bit more transparent as I go too. I like that. Yeah, that's really cool. And I realized going up lightens it a little bit, while going down kind of darkens it. Okay. It does kind of look like a purple flame, yeah. Alright, I got some brainstorming happening here. So, one thing I could do is have this flame and try and have like silhouettes behind it, kind of like so not the actual bodies, but almost like a shadow branching out of it. So like how I'm kind of thinking of it is like, imagine having like a kind of like a backdrop, like a wall or something, kind of back here, and then having like the shadows. Yeah, something along those lines. Either like a dark dungeon, or maybe like they're standing around like a fire, and like their shadows are like coming up the walls, kind of thing. Or like, yeah, I like the idea of like a dungeon or like something like that. They have like the fire going, and like I could add a body, but I like the idea of like the shadow. Let me grab like a different brush. Maybe this lad. Let me get a black, and then having like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So then having like the shadows kind of like coming up off the wall, sort of thing. Not exactly like that, but that kind of like getting the like getting like their shadows kind of like starting to form. But I'm definitely needing to find a good like brush to do that with. But yeah, I'm still getting used to like the colors as well. What does this one do? It seems to do nothing. Oh, it kind of just lightens it? Interesting. Okay. What else do we got? So, in my mind's eye, using this as my mind, so like the center's like here, the shadows would be like kind of being cast off like the center of this. And like I guess there are layers here, right? So I could layer 2 here. Yeah, honestly, yeah, let's do like a quick little like over sketch area real quick. So I can kind of like show what my brain's trying to process. So this is kind of like the center section where like the shadows are kind of like, you know, emanating from, basically like the flame here. So we would have like a shadow kind of branching up like this in some sort of like humanoid shape. I'm not liking that. So like, so we would have the walls kind of like some point or another. And then kind of like a shadowy form, kind of like emanating from the thing itself, kind of like this. Honestly, I would probably like do that. Have it kind of go down. And maybe like a big shadow in the middle, kind of like. In a weird way, I'm almost imagining like some people, maybe like they're a little further back, so you know they're not witnessing it, but maybe like they do like a little seance in like the woods or like, you know, in a basement or something like that. They don't see these things coming out of the fire, you know. But like they're basically like almost bringing in like an ancient like witch's coven. If I were to go like, say the purple again, let's have like a deep purple. Let's go like that. All it takes is just a simple shape to get your brain already. Yeah, that's honestly what I love so much about drawing and painting and that sort of stuff. Is that like it just takes one little thing, right? And then like your imagination, your creativity just kind of overfills you. It kind of reminds me of like when you're a kid, you're like you're playing like make believe, you know, you're creating like a stick as a gun or a sword or like a leaf is like a magical relic that can do, you know, it's that sort of like imagination, which is why I love art so much. Because like it pushes you to be like, you know, like that use that creative play half of your brain to like actually like create something cool or interesting. So 1 second, does this affect? Okay, you know, I know like layers simply don't affect the other layers, but I wanted to make sure just in case this program worked different. But with that said, if I then I feel like I was navigating. Sorry, my brain. Yeah, honestly, I totally see that. Heck, I have a picture like of my wife and I going down to the beach, and her finding this like massive, like 6 foot long piece of driftwood, and her just like grinning ear to ear, carrying this giant stick home. Because and like once again, we actually still have the stick. It's in the basement with me as I speak. It's just very bulky to maneuver, but she's just super excited about it, and like just, you know, I love that like aspect of like play in the human mind, and just the ability to like see a stick and be like, yes, this is that like thing I need, or that you know, this brings me some form of joy, be it like, you know, the creative aspects of it, or yeah, exactly. It was just such a great moment, and yeah, okay. So I see that there is a limit to how far I can stretch it. That's good to know. Can I then? Let's go a lighter. Well, let's go like the same shade of purple. Water droplet. Um, oh, oh, neat. See, if I were to, man, I'm so getting used to this. So if I were to take the water droplet, let's say, and let's just do a little, Excuse me. And then take the napkin thingy. The napkin thingy. I keep clicking the little thing down here to close the menu. That doesn't close the menu. That just opens it up. So when I keep hitting this, it just keeps opening it. I have to click like off of it to load, to get rid of it. Still getting used to that. And if I were to like, moving this along, kind of use it, fill out stuff a bit more. I'll still have it in the bleed effect. It's your channel and. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm also fairly new to art. Cough. Cough, cough, cough. I'm saying cough because that fake cough I did earlier kind of actually hurt my throat a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Everyone starts somewhere when it comes to art. Let's use another layer. Ooh, I actually like the fact that it is kind of interacting with the other color. That's really cool. How can I use that to my advantage? Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, art is very much a, like, you, like, as scary as it can be, like, the fear of a blank sheet of paper is real. Because, if there's already something on the paper, it's already damaged. But that blank sheet of paper, the fear of, like, messing that up, there's something intimidating about that. But the thing with art, you have to make mistakes to learn. You have to just do. And a lot of the time, those little mistakes that you make end up being something that you go, you know what? I kind of like that. Accidentally spill your coffee on your canvas? Well, now you got a slightly water-stained canvas. Think of the possibilities with that. Yeah, exactly. Happy little mistakes. What if I use a lighter color for like the next like reflection? I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. Yeah, let's just try a lighter color, just to see how that makes me feel. Does it give me the tingles? One second. I thought I heard someone knocking at the door, so I'm gonna step away real quick. Alright, back. Let's keep going with this. Thank you. Can I like make the size of this smaller? I can. Yeah, I should have actually did that. Let's do some undos. You know, still getting used to these tools. There we go. Oddly enough, it seems to go further when I use the small piece of paper towel. Let's go like a little bit of a dark color, add an extra layer, bring it down to there, grab a brush. That in. Now let's switch back to the paper towel. Start pulling these color upwards. And then can I adjust the transparency once I'm done? Or at the very least, I can maybe try and like remove the paint that's underneath the plane, if need be. Almost like, rather than build it up, almost like build it down. Also, like, that's my stroke there. Let's not get all wishy-washy with my strokes, mate. Chat. Why did the auto mod? Why? I don't get the auto mod. It didn't even block. For me, it didn't even flag the swimsuit part. It flagged the looks like a woman part. It did not flag you say swimsuit. It flagged the look like woman. Fucking why? Okay, so we learned that you cannot say you can't talk about a farming hoe. You can't just say the word woman. Or looks like a woman. Just can't say those or that phrase. Alright. We know now. Right? Alright, well. That's fun. More like the flaminess I've been kind of doing here. Bring this down. Like soften the edges a little bit. And yeah, I can slightly adjust the opacity of each layer. So what if I just lower it just a little? Yeah, I think I kind of like that, just a little lighter. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of like, I want to like build off, so like we know like from like the process that like the color behind the flame is from the shadows. But now I want to add a little bit of something on top of the flame to kind of blend it all together. Then we'll add some like droplets on top. I can also remove this layer. Yeah, we can remove this guy. So I'm liking the color palette. Like we've really only used purple and like a little bit of pink in there. So let's stick with the purple theming. Oh. So if I tap any of these palettes with like whatever color I pick, I don't know how the color picker works. Interesting. Okay. Let's go. how do I want to go about this? Okay. Let's try a little something. I don't need this in the background anymore. I had some photo references brought up, but I didn't even use any of them. I'm kind of liking the flowiness of that. I just a little bit there. I'm trying to add a little bit, like almost like a flame highlight around the flame a little bit. Doesn't even need to like build the entirety of it. I just kind of want to like get that impression. And what if I did that with the other layers too? Like build on it. Whoops. Yeah, that wasn't really working how I was planning. But this layer was working a little bit how I intended. So let's do just a little bit of like drop there. Switch back to the paper towel. And add a little bit. Hopefully that's enough. I might need more. You know what? That kind of works. It's doing what I wanted it to do. So I think I want to lower the opacity of the little darker shadow back here. Honestly, I think I kind of like it darker. I'm trying to like lighten it up a little bit, but like I kind of like how it's kind of blending. Like first I wasn't sure how I liked it looking with the flame in the middle, but I like that it kind of feels like it's giving it life. Now I want to try something a little wacky. I want to add like a smokiness to the environment. So let me add another layer. Let's get like a gray. Do a couple little splotches. Let's like just kind of like hatch in the side. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to like have a pattern. Just kind of fill in that space a little bit. Kind of give that like there's like something here. You know, there's like smoke kind of filling the room. kind of like gaseous. Try a little bit of that. Back to thing. Now I want to give the sort of impression of some sort of ground or surface kind of lining about this area here. Let's go something darker. Let's go the droplets some more. Oh, I want to do this on a different layer. I guess there's no like different layers in actual art, but still want to do this. Is there a way to like better work this layers list? Okay, I see. Curious, what if I use a sponge? What if? What? Alright, gives it kind of like that wateriness to it. Alright, not what I wanted, but good to know. I can honestly use that on like the smoke layer. Or maybe try using it on like the shadows in like the background. Which layers has that? Is this one? Yeah. I mean, I can use this, or should I just kind of like round layer? No, I'll keep that in. Adds a little something, I think. And now with that, I do want to add a little bit. Get the dropper thingy again. A little bit of like a light purplish to kind of simulate that light that this is probably giving off. Oops, wrong layer. So for this, I want to maybe try the sponge. Okay, that's not working how I intended. Alright. Looking pretty good. I'm kind of liking this. Lastly, I got an interesting idea, and I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm going to try it. What if, take this a smaller droplet bottle, maybe this one? I'm thinking, I want to do this in a similar color palette, or do I want to do this with like a red? Try a red. Don't hate it. Sort of like bleeding eyes kind of thing. Kind of love it. Yeah. I like it. But I think this is where I'm gonna wrap up here. I'll like sign this and do all the things I need to do, and I'll post it to Instagram at some point later today. But yeah, this feels like a good time to wrap up. Haven't been going for too long, but feeling pretty happy with this. I don't feel like I need to add anything more to it. Like, it's capturing, it's like giving off the vibes that I wanted it to do. Like, maybe I can add a little bit of like purpley drops. So like, let's try something real quick as well. We just like kind of like. Honestly, no. I think I kind of just like the one singular droplet. Now, ideally, if I was able to like use like manipulate this, or if I knew how to use the program a little better, maybe I can do this. But like, if I could like drop a bit of water and have it like use that as like the stem of like the shadow, so I have that like drop and kind of like dribble down to like the point here, that would have been like a fun way to kind of like build up the smoke with like a physical medium. But I think I'm liking this, all things considered. And yeah, so I'm gonna wrap up here. Thank you for everyone who is hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, bit of a shorter stream, but I don't really know where else to go from here. Don't want to start something small, for a little bit. Kind of been just one of those days, so feel kind of sleepy. So I figure now's a good time. Wrap it up. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next. You know what? Yeah, I'll just wrap up the YouTube recording, then I'll wrap up like the stream. I always forget like I'm technically doing two things. Always slip my mind, but yeah. So, yeah, thank you for watching this on YouTube. If you're watching from the VODs, I really do appreciate it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call my dad back in a second. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now. And yeah, I'll wrap up the YouTube recording here. My dad keeps calling. He's having some health issues, so I want to call him back. But yeah, so I'll talk to you all, or I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now.